Texas lawmakers reconvened to fight over funding public education. Educators from more than 120 school districts asked a judge not to publish its annual A through F ratings.
We really do believe that there is an attack on public education like never before.
Today on Inside the Investigations, investigative reporter Kelly Wiley explains why districts are pushing back on the state now and what that means for Texas families. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for being with us here on KXAN Live. I'm Will Dupree, coming to you from the KXAN Live studio for this week's edition of Inside the Investigations. We're going to go and do a deep dive into one of the stories that our investigative team here at KXAN has reported on. And today we're keeping it in the family because we're going to be talking about this story right here. The headline is Del Valle ISD, Leander ISD superintendents testify in court over A through F school rating. The reporter behind that story is our co-host each week, investigative reporter Kelly Wiley. Kelly, thank you so much for being here and doing this yet again.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk to you about this story.
You know, yesterday you spent all day in a Travis County courtroom, not too far from the station. Just catch us up on this particular lawsuit and who brought it.
Well, this is really, think of a snowball just rolling downhill, collecting more and more snow. This lawsuit came after the Texas Education Agency announced that it would be essentially refreshing how it grades schools. We know that when you move to a new neighborhood or when you're considering a school district, you can see how they score. You can see how the district itself scores, if they have an A, B, or C. You can also see how the particular campus that your student might be going to scores. And these can weigh heavily into how parents decide where to live, where businesses decide to invest. And the way this system works is over time, periodically, actually it says in the law, TEA has to kind of increase the metrics by which they decide how a school scores. So maybe in previous years, you would need 60% graduation rate at a campus in order to get an A. And this refresh is talking about increasing that by 88%. So essentially just making it harder for districts to achieve those scores. This lawsuit in particular, though, has more to do with timing. Districts are pointing out that under these new metrics, they might see lower scores, even if technically they've improved year over year. But really what they're saying is the TEA, the Education Commissioner, had an obligation by law to give them adequate notice of these changes. And in this case, they're saying the manual that lays out how the schools will be graded isn't even approved yet. But we're hearing that the A through F ratings will be released in November. And so really they're saying we should have been given way more notice by law in order to, one, figure out how these metrics will impact our campuses, but two, to maybe even make changes so that we can actually have the new metrics influence our behaviors and how we get students to perform better.
How many school districts actually joined this lawsuit to not release this year's A through F school ratings? And I know that a number of local districts are part of that, so if you don't mind reminding us about that too.
So that's where that snowball analogy gets into. So the first school district, Kingsville ISD, it's not a big area. They were the first to jump into this lawsuit and essentially say, this is unfair and we think the TEA has broken the law. But in the months since that lawsuit was first filed, we've now seen 120 school districts across the state, more than 120, join onto this lawsuit. And they're not small school districts. Dallas ISD has joined. Locally, Leander ISD, Del Valle ISD, Pflugerville ISD. And we've heard some conversations and gotten some insight before during school board meetings as to why they're joining. Pflugerville ISD, their superintendent flat out said that they believe this system and the way TEA is handling the A through F rating and the rollout of the refresh is unfair. But what's especially interesting right now was how this hearing played out. These districts were being extremely vocal about the impact that it has on their campuses, on teacher morale, on economics in their area, on the economy, when this happen, when these ratings change, or when the metrics change, and especially when they change perhaps abruptly.
In addition to the superintendents testifying yesterday during the court, we also got a chance to hear from the attorneys representing the Texas Education Agency. How did they respond to some of these allegations that this lawsuit is bringing up?
Well, the TEA attorneys were really more so poking holes in the assertions that the school districts were making, that even if they had gotten this adequate notice, more notice, what could you have really done to affect the data that we're pulling from? Because you have to keep in mind, they're applying these new metrics to the previous school year. So the argument that they're really making is, let's say we had given you more notice, what would you really have done to change that data to reflect a higher score? So that's one thing. But also what was unique about this is we saw the defense, or the attorneys for the TEA, call up one of the top leaders in the Texas Education Agency, who is over this refresh of the A through F accountability system. And we heard them admit, yes, the actual manual that lays out these metrics is not approved yet. But the point that they're making is they have for a long time been engaging school districts, giving them an idea of what this will look like. Their argument is, one, that they've always said that at some point the metrics would increase. It would become more rigorous. They would be raised. It would be harder to get an A or a B. And they say that they warned the school districts that this would likely happen on a 5-year cycle. So 2017 was when this newer version of this accountability system was first applied. And now it's 2023, and they're saying, per what we've been telling you, it's time to update it. And they're also saying that we've been giving you draft copies of what these metrics look like. But I think from the district's perspective, they're saying we're going to go off what's approved, because until it's approved, it can change. And then again, we'd be coming to our community, telling them again what this might look like. And the other point that the districts are making is more so around anytime this system has had a huge shift. So in 2003, it had a huge shift. In those years, they're saying they were given by the state a transition year, a hold harmless year, where maybe they would see what their scores would look like under the new metrics, but they wouldn't be held accountable for that score that they got during that transition year. And when you look at the broader picture of what can trigger state intervention or certain sanctions, you start to see why districts care that they wouldn't be held responsible for any quick shifts in the accountability rating system.
This is obviously going to come down to what this judge here in Travis County decides about this lawsuit. When is a decision expected? Is there any indication about that?
The timing on all of this is so interesting, Will. The judge is expected to make a decision before the end of the month. And
okay.
There's a couple of things kind of going on around that. So TEA was actually going to release these A through F ratings in September. And it got pushed back, they say, because they wanted to look at a little bit closer at the student progress data to make sure they're getting this accountability system right. And so, but they have said they want to release them in November. So I think the concept that I kind of came away with after sitting in the hearing is that she's not trying to affect that. So whatever order she makes or whatever ruling she makes, she doesn't want to impact the timing that's already kind of set out. So that's one thing. But this is not happening in a vacuum. We also know, and you know, especially, this is something you cover all the time, we're in our special session, our third special session, and what are they talking about?
Education. Yeah.
They're talking about education, and a lot of it kind of revolves around this conversation that happened in the hearing. We're talking about school vouchers, and a lot of that conversation has been around, giving parents options if they don't want to go to a failing school, or if they don't want to go to a school that's not rated highly, or if the school's not handling special education correctly, or if their kids just need something different. We're also talking about school funding. Teachers and school districts are saying that they need a big time infusement of dollars. They need more money to because of inflation, and they need more money to be able to retain teachers. So education. There's a lot going on, but to short answer, we're expecting a ruling before the end of the month.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about kind of the politics of this moment. That can't be ignored right now. And many of these superintendents during this hearing pointed out and showed like what is happening at the state capitol right now ties into what their lawsuit is. They made that direct correlation.
Yes. So I think over the last year, we've been hearing from school districts saying we feel like there's an attack on public education. We've heard that from several school leaders. But I almost want to say this is the first time I've heard them directly link, or some school leaders directly link, what's going on with A through F to what's going on in the legislature right now around school choice and education savings accounts. And we heard the Leander ISD superintendent was one of the folks to testify, and he said that he made sure to point out that there's a larger political conversation that all of this fits inside of. And really, he was articulating that he just wants to make sure that we preserve public education, that we're not doing things to break the relationship or harm the relationship between the state and these local ISDs.
The timing of the hearing yesterday was very interesting as well, because it fell on the day that the Texas Senate unveiled its plan for education savings accounts, which some people call school vouchers. Can you walk us through about what that discussion is that's happening at the state capitol that is separate from this lawsuit? I know you followed that pretty closely too.
So I think first we'd have to kind of look back. We know that Governor Abbott convened a task force of teachers, educators, superintendents, because he was articulating that the workforce issues within education were a problem, and he wanted recommendations around that. Then we enter into the regular session, and it was, we are going to make sure teachers get paid. But if anybody had been following the regular session, it all kind of became very muddled together between the conversations about school choice and the conversations around public school funding. And in the end, we left the regular session with really nothing on either. There were definitely efforts to fund school systems. We saw an increase in the school safety allotment for public schools, not by much. Not what they originally wanted. And certainly we didn't leave the regular session with any significant teacher pay increase. We didn't leave with any school choice legislation. And going into this regular session, this special session, we know Governor Abbott is very serious about this special session ending in an education savings account program being created. And so, there's a lot going on, and I'm honestly not quite sure how this is going to end. I don't think anybody is, but all of these conversations are happening at the same time. I think the school districts just want to make sure that they're properly funded, and I think they want to make sure that they walk out of this with a good deal that's fair to them.
And of course, I know you will be following it every step of the way as you have been. You can read all of Kelly's reporting, including about yesterday's court hearing, plus all the context that led up to this point. You can find that on our website at kxan.com. The headline for Kelly's story is right here. Del Valle ISD, Leander ISD superintendents testify in court over A to F school rating. There's much more information in there as well about what is happening in this special legislative session, talking about passing some sort of school choice education savings account program. And our political reporters here at the station are covering that very closely as well. You can see the Capitol there in the distance of our live shot. A lot of action happening there, and we are following that every step of the way. So investigative reporter Kelly Wiley, thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back next week for another edition of Inside the Investigation, so we will see you back here on Wednesday morning. That's Kelly Wiley. I'm Will Dupree. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.